Good morning, road dogs and highway hounds. Getting a little bit of a late start. Cryptocurrency fatigue. Just read an article on Zcash. And, I'm just a little tired of all of the new coins popping up constantly. Bitcoin and Litecoin came out, 2009. Bitcoin or Litecoin was the number 2 cryptocurrency forever, and it still is, in my opinion, because Ethereum's kind of a centralized coin. But now I'm reading about this Zcash. I'm reading about it this morning, and I work, and I can't read all of the stuff about all the latest news and the latest coins popping up. They're talking this thing's going to overtake Ethereum for and market cap and blah blah blah, and hickory dickory dock, and who cares? And it sounds like a really good concept, just like Ethereum sounded like a really good concept at the beginning. And the way that they're doing the mining thing, that they're gradually going into it, that's always been one of my things with Bitcoin and Litecoin. Mainly Bitcoin, because they're the first one to do it, and Litecoin just kind of does everything that Bitcoin does. But the way that the graph goes like that, or what I'm talking about, when the amount of coins released, it goes straight up in the beginning. So like with Bitcoin, you had the people mining it, like Craig Wright, and he's sitting on a million Bitcoins, and probably Gavin Andreessen and Satoshi are sitting on millions of Bitcoins. And that's always been like, man, that's kind of a not cool way to do it, but whatever. But they're starting mining, and mining is like, has a gradual start to it, which is pretty cool. But here's the thing, man, it's just like, I can't keep up with every new cryptocurrency that comes out. That is the next biggest thing. And I shouldn't have to, and that's one of the things that I don't like about technology. You get your app on your phone, and then all of a sudden it says, oh, you can't use this app anymore until it's updated. Like, I got a radar app. It shows Doppler radar so I can see the storms coming. So, like when I was driving, or now I'm doing construction outside, I can pull that app up. And then they updated it, and they screwed up the video of it, and now my app's worthless. So I had to go find a new app, And it's like Bitcoin and Litecoin are the gold and silver cryptocurrency. But, in a couple of years, they've become obsolete. Now I need to go to Ethereum. And, Ethereum's a year old, and now it's obsolete, and Zcash is going to overtake it. And it's just like, come on, man, give me a freaking break. And, so here I am, I'm sitting here, I woke up, go to the bathroom, and I read an article on Zcash, while I'm paying my morning taxes, and I'm like, crap, I want to get in on this, but I don't know how to do a miner. I don't know how to mine. I don't know how to do all that stuff, so I got to sit down and study for it. But here's the thing, I'm off to work. I'm getting a late start at 8 o'clock in the morning, about 2.5, 3 hours later than what I usually start, because I'm relaxing today, because it's Saturday. But I can't keep up with that. And how are you going? You know, to me, it's just Bitcoin and Litecoin, because I can't be sitting there. Bitcoin and Litecoin are scary enough. You know, I don't know if they're gonna, you know, who is it? Roger Ver, is that Bitcoin Jesus over there in Japan? That guy wants to have, I think that's what Bitcoin Unlimited is. I can't keep up with all the changing in the technology, but I think that's where the miners, or the block size goes, you know, unlimited. That's what I'm assuming it is. And if that's the case, then, you know, it pretty much rules out small-time miners, which is a positive of Zcash. That's why I like it so much. But, you know, it's like this thing is going to freaking explode, or it's not. But, you know, like, I listen to Tone Vase, and, you know, I respect the heck out of him. He says that all these new altcoins are test bots for Bitcoin. You know, they're just test runs, they're trial runs, and that's kind of the way I look at it, only I add in Litecoin. Because to me, Litecoin tempers Bitcoin, because you've got, like I was talking about earlier in the video, you know, you got Gavin Andreessen and all these early guys, Craig Wright, you know, who are sitting on a pile of Bitcoin, and a Litecoin is $4 each. And so I'm going to keep buying a Litecoin, because, you know what, I'm in it, and it's going up in price compared to the US dollar. You know, a lot of the Bitcoiners will, you know, say it's going down in price in relation to Bitcoin, because it's not going up as fast as Bitcoin. But I think that's a little bit delusional on Bitcoiners' price, because, you know, you walk up to Joe Blow on the street and you say, hey, do you know about Bitcoin? They're like, what the heck are you talking about? They have no clue what Bitcoin is. So to be valuing everything in Bitcoin is a little over enthusiastic, which is understandable, because Bitcoin and Litecoin are pretty cool ideas. But no, it's just Zcash is coming out, and what's you know, in a year there's going to be, I mean, I've seen these coins come up and go down and all this stuff, and I just get tired of watching it. I mean, does anybody else feel that way? I mean, I like it. I mean, who are you guys, you know, who watch this video, or just who is the average Bitcoin investor, or crypto investor, I guess I should say. I mean, because, I mean, to me, it's like you got to keep it simple. And if you can't keep it simple, I don't want it. I can't do research on my money, you know, on what it's going to do, if it's going to implode or if it's not going to implode. I just have to have it. I need to be able to buy my Litecoin, set it down, and know my Litecoin ain't going nowhere. The price is going to go up, the price is going to go down. I understand that. That's cool. But gold and silver, I understand. It's money. I understand that. Now, when you get all this stuff hashed out with Ethereum, and which one's better, Ethereum or Zcash, and all that stuff, and oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing since sliced bread, then you clone that sucker, or take some of the Ethereum aspects, and you take some of the Zcash aspects, you take some of the... Somebody loves me early in the morning. You take all those aspects and you create that nickel coin. And I mean, and I'm just saying it's 1/100th, and then you give it to people. Because listen to me, man, I'm working on a job site right now where this kid is getting paid at $11.50 an hour to walk on these timbers. I'm old enough to say, no, that ain't happening, Captain. I ain't doing it, you know. But this kid's up there walking on these timbers in the morning dew on an 8-pitch roof, You know, and there's no roof there. We're putting the roof on, so it's just beams. You know, these big oak timbers. I gotta take a picture of it. I gotta do a video from there. But this kid making $11 an hour, and he's out there walking on these timbers, you know, 3 stories up. And I'm just like, I prayed for the kid, man, because I was like, man, this is just. Then I thought, think about the foreman, you know, if that kid falls off. But it's just, here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, there's people that work really hard for very little money, and you know, single moms. I think of single moms a lot, you know. And people think, oh, we should just have Bitcoin and stick with Bitcoin alone. I don't go that far. Okay? I see the value in these other things, but people work hard, and they're not going to want all of. And I consider myself an early adopter of Bitcoin. All of us early adopters of Bitcoin to be their overlords, and I don't want that. I don't want to be people's overlords. So, and that's another reason why I like Litecoin, because it tempers the monetary supply. So you got these early adopters with the millions of Bitcoins, you know, $500 million in Bitcoins. I'm sure there's some of them that got $1 billion. But in Bitcoin, it's a bit ridiculous if you ask me. So, to me, you know, the 1 or 2% of us that do mess around in cryptocurrencies, we, you know, we're like it, we're interested in it, but I'm interested in it, and I can't even keep up with it. That's why I stick with Bitcoin and Litecoin, because it's gold and silver, and that's the way money has been for thousands of years. So let's keep it that way. And then when you find the Zcash or the Ethereum, you create the nickel coin, and you take all those features. You know, you got to have some well-respected people, probably Roger Ver, probably Andreas Antonopoulos, probably a Tone Vase, somebody who everybody knows is not on the take. We don't want any CEOs from Coinbase. We don't want any CEOs from any CEO company. We just want people who got enough cojones to stand up in the face of adversity, you know, to kind of lead the charge. You know, the people who are, you know, we all know who the good people are out there talking about this stuff, and who the not so good people are. You know, I mean, you know, no, but this is all a trial run. But we need to, Bitcoin needs to be spread out evenly, and that's what I think Litecoin does. It allows it should slow the roll of Bitcoin to the moon. Everybody wants it to go to the moon, you know, and to me it's just kind of greedy. You know, and when you do that nickel coin, you disperse it to people who don't have incomes. You know, you can have your own cryptocurrency welfare type of thing, which I would be in favor of. I'm pretty libertarian, you know, so I'm not in favor of sticking a gun in somebody's face and telling them to give me my tax money, and then they're going to go be benevolent on my behalf. You know, kiss my. But you know, the cryptocurrency could be benevolent with a nickel coin, you know, and give it, you know, you download the app, and you know, for me personally, I wouldn't download the app. I wouldn't get the free nickel coin because I got enough Bitcoin and Litecoin. You know, and that's a way to temper, you know, and make it fair. You got to make it fair. People are like, oh, you can't make it fair. You know, hey man, if you're watching this video now, it's because you care about money anyway. So you're already, you know, the way I look at it, we're going to be okay. If you own a Bitcoin, you're fine. You know, if you own 10, you're better. You know, if you own 100, that's great. If you own 10,000, maybe you should, you know, retire or something. Heck, I don't know. But all I'm saying is we want mass adoption, and Litecoin does that. You know, Zcash, I mean, it sounds like a great idea, but it's just like, man, I'm tired. I can't, I don't have time to go research it. And I mean, I've never done a miner, but I would like to mine Zcash, you know, but I can't, I just don't have time for this stuff. And money is not something, you know, I don't have to worry about my US dollar, you know. I mean, I know it's going down in value, you know, but I don't have to sit there and study the picture on it, you know. I don't have to memorize the logos and all this kind of crap. You know, I got it. I got my Bitcoin. I got my Litecoin. I don't want to have to worry about it. I don't want to have to research it. I don't want to research Zcash. But I'm afraid if I research Zcash, I'm going to miss the boat. And I'm not going to be in, you know, and, you know, so what? I don't want to be in. Bitcoin and Litecoin are good enough for me. When all of these altcoins come out and Litecoin reaches a 1-to-4 ratio, or a 1 to, you know, 20% of a Bitcoin or something like that, and we've really discovered a lot of new things, we don't want the people who've been holding Bitcoin and Litecoin to just lose value and have to run into a new coin. No, you create a nickel coin that's 1/95th of a Bitcoin, and you can dilute the money supply a little bit more. It's going to be deflationary still. I mean, I think Bitcoin's going to be way too deflationary compared to anything else. I think it's too deflationary for its own good. People are sitting on millions. You know, I think in 5 years. Oh man, I don't know, but you just got to hold the course steady with Bitcoin and Litecoin, and don't get distracted by these Ethereums and by these Zcashes. And I'm not saying Zcash is a bad thing. I mean, if you're into testing and finding out and discovering what, you know, what the potential for cryptocurrency, if that's what you're into in cryptocurrency, great, go for it. That's cool. But I can't keep up. And I'm interested, and I want to. I mean, on a nerdy level, I want to know everything about Zcash. I ain't got time. So what are you going to do? I'm going to stick with Bitcoin and Litecoin. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not saying Ethereum ain't really cool technology. Zcash ain't really a great idea. But, you know, I'm not a trader. I'm not somebody who's flipping coins. I'm just stacking and forgetting about it. And I'm going to keep on stacking my Bitcoin. I'm going to keep on stacking my Litecoin, 1 to 100. You know, bring that, you know, buy 1 Bitcoin, buy 100 Litecoin. Buy 1 Bitcoin, buy 100 Litecoin. And you know what? In time, and you can see it, you know, it'll bring that ratio tighter. And that's what you do. That's all I got to say. I just read that article and it was like, boy, vey, how am I supposed to keep up with this stuff? I'm tired. I'm tired of working, going to work. I can't keep up with this stuff. But I'll talk to you guys later. Adios.